Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin did rally here in this potential wave 4. We talked about it. We're going to zoom in a minute, take a look at the latest, the lower degree wave count. Bigger picture, the situation hasn't really changed at all. It's just sort of playing out the wave count. There is, of course, some uncertainty on the lower time frames. Okay, are we already in a B wave? Is this a wave 4? Doesn't matter so much from a tactical point of view, because in both scenarios we expected at least a small move to the upside. Anyway, we're going to take a look at that in a minute. Bigger picture, take a look at the price action since the 15th of June low. We see here 5 waves up. That's still the primary scenario, where we had off the 15th of June low a first wave 1, or the first wave 1, yeah, wave 1. Then a very shallow wave 2, which bottomed here on the 18th of June. The wave 3 reached perfect targets. Then we had the wave 4, which also reached one of our targets twice, here in the yellow support area. And it basically turned around at the 23.6 retracement. The first time actually it came down a little lower. But the idea was that we get a 5th wave as long as we're holding the yellow support area. And then we were looking for one more wave up to at least 31.8K. And that is exactly what happened. So extremely happy with how this has worked out. It's perfectly adhered to the script here. And then we saw the expected pullback that is unfolding now in this wave 2. Very boring range, very choppy. No surprise. Yeah, highlighted it to you that this here was a wave 4. A wave 4 is typically choppy. Some said this cannot be a wave 4 because it is too long. Well, it sort of is long. It's not too long. Elliott Wave, as I always say, it is a price-based system. It's not a time-based system. I once did all the work to try to establish, okay, is there really a relationship between a wave 2 and a wave 4 in terms of length? And I wanted to do that to trade options, to have an advantage there. But no, there is absolutely no relationship. And I didn't get to any statistical, any significant conclusions. Okay, so from that point of view, since then, I started to really not believe the idea that wave 2 and wave 4 need to have sort of a similar length. I mean, to a degree, there is, in most cases, some kind of a right look, you could say, okay. There is something like that, but it's more like you need to get a feeling for it. But this wave 4, yes, it is very long, but it is not invalid. So you cannot say, okay, this is too long and therefore it is invalid or something. So absolutely not. Therefore, I remained focused on the wave 4. It just had to do with the price, because it's a price-based system. I looked at, okay, how low did it go? And as long as it doesn't break below support, which our yellow trend reversal or support area was here, I'm still waiting for one more wave up. And it did that. And it actually, I always said to you, look, if I'd like to get that move to at least 31.8K to believe this structure. And it has formed a really nice wave 1. Okay, and the move down now could be this wave 2. So it's going to be very interesting. Primary expectation is that we are now coming down in this wave 2, and that we have here an A, which is unfolding now. Okay, maybe bottomed, but I think it's still unfolding. Then a B wave to the upside and a C wave to the downside. This would be ideal. Support between 29,152 and 26,280. As long as we're holding 26,280, the overall focus can be on higher in a third wave. Below that level, however, perspectives need to change. Not necessarily super bearish, but I would have to adjust the wave count. That's what these boxes are for, right? If they are broken, we have to adjust the wave count. As long as they hold, the current scenario is valid. Alternative scenario is that the wave 1 simply finished a little earlier, and we had an overshooting B wave, and we're coming down now already in the C wave. But also in this alternative scenario, we're in wave 2. So I would actually count these as 1. Okay, and the matter or the idea is still, what we need to be concerned with is really, okay, where do we find a turnaround? Where does it turn around? So Ideally, I'd still like to get it lower, and ideally it should go into this yellow support area. As long as it turns around there, I'm happy. Anywhere, it can really turn around anywhere, because more important than the lower degree wave count is the level, the range, okay? The levels are very important. And again, we have choppy price action, but that's just a situation in a correction. Okay, so looking at this, we have possibly rallied already in this fourth wave now, finally. I mean, maybe it was a running flat. Certainly we have a 5-wave move up there. Okay, so I've got a 5-wave move up here off the lows. So that leaves me with a few, basically still the same possibilities that I outlined in the last few days, they are still valid. So what do we have? We have the idea that this could have been a wave 4. And it might be finished actually. Why is that? Because in this wave 4, we had an A wave, a B wave, yeah, overshooting to the downside, very choppy, and then the C wave to the upside in a wave 4, a running flat. Let's take a look if the Fibonacci extensions give us any clues, because the wave C often reaches the 1-to-1 ratio. Wow, okay, so can you see that? So 30,150 reached perfectly here. So yeah, I mean, I will not rule out that this was all of wave C already. It's certainly a 5-wave move. It's a 5-wave move where we had a diagonal structure possibly, ending diagonal in the C wave. If, however, it now extends higher, then it shouldn't go above 30,650. Well, I shouldn't say it shouldn't do. It can do. What happens if it does? Well, if it does, then the idea would be that wave 4 already finished on Monday. This was already a wave 5. So I cannot, it's not 100% clear, because the choppy nature of this decline could just have been that overshooting B wave. And then we had the A wave low already in. And then this would already be a B wave. So in both cases, we are looking maybe still at the continuation of a corrective bounce, but as an initial signal that we push higher, I wanted to break the trend line and better above the 50% retracement, because then I have clarity that it's a B wave. So it's going to be interesting. Certainly, I would pay attention to these trend lines. I mean, they have guided us really well. They have guided us really well in the last few days. Yeah, I don't think there is much more to add. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.